Hey, Kaz. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Ma. Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. How was everyone tonight?
Well, I hope they're better than me.
I know you're not feeling well lately.
The things I do for you, woman.
We have not been live in days.
I know, so you dragged me out of a sick bed.
You know what, guys? She is so full of shit about dragging her out of a sick bed. She doesn't feel good, yes, but I did not drag her out of a bed.
You did. I was in bed, woman. When you rang, I was in bed.
Too bad.
See what I mean, guys? No love for me. None. How
Look
is
at all the
everybody
great
anyway?
people.
I know. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Leonard.
So
Hey,
last night,
Didi.
oh, sorry, guys.
Seashells. You didn't say hello to everybody. PG. Who the dickens is Fat Balls? Hey,
Elise
Lana.
with
Sorry.
fat balls.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that makes me laugh.
I just thought of that song, Big Balls of Fire. Hey, Cat Eyes, Lana, Elisa Casata,
Oh
GB,
my god.
PG, Hey Seashells,
Uh,
Fat Balls. So last
see,
night
uh,
I was talking to Chisme, and she told me to turn on Jim Terry. I was actually driving. I think I was doing something. And she's like, "Oh, call in the show." I said, "Well, no, I don't want to call in while he's doing the Doug the Puppet." But today, that guy is absolutely crazy, Kaz.
yeah.
I was just kind of like, ah, but that was funny. So I did call in and joked around, and I told him that I think him and his brother should become strippers. Hey, mama's baby, right? I love the Big Ball song. I like the Big Kahunas. I have a little Big Kahuna.
Don't make me laugh. My head hurts. I've got a jackhammer going off inside my skulls. You know that. Don't make me laugh, please.
I know. You got to put an ice pack on your neck. Oh, you don't have
Mm,
any ice. I think I'm
no.
gonna call Uber Uber in Australia and tell them to bring Kaz a bag of ice. You think they'll deliver it?
I don't think so.
All right. So now I said I was not going to talk about Kylie any longer, but I'm really not going to. This probably be my final thoughts and Kaz's final thoughts. But there are a couple of things, and don't think because we're not talking about her that we do not see everything that's being said and goes on.
Mm.
We watch. We watch it all. You know, we watched Dylan Rat. We every case that we talk about, even though we may not constantly talk about it, we're constantly keeping notes. Does that make sense?
Does to me because we do.
Yeah. But there are some things going on that are mind blowing with the Kylie case. But I still have not changed my thoughts from day one, how I feel.
No, you've been very consistent.
I usually am. I'm not really a flip flopper. Even with Chrissy Powell, you can't confuse. I mean,
Don't go there.
I know what the coroner said and all of that, but it would make much more sense in my mind if she was in the driver's seat. And because she wasn't, like when we started getting all the information we're requesting, I want to see that footage too of the surveillance camera because I want to see if you could see one person, two people, three people, because you can't convince me that she just put herself in that car and decided to end it and not leave a letter for her mom or something. I just it's bullshit. Or was it an accident? Well,
Well, I
that's my
believe it.
feelings. Hey, Margaret, Princess, Leonard Love. Okay, so the things that I find weird about the Kylie case, and I honestly think that if these two things were not nefarious, I think that they would have been brought up. One is her cell phone.
Yeah.
Where is this child's cell phone? We've found the Mac, we have found the fruity drooty drinks, we found the rolling papers, we have found phone cords. It looked to me like maybe that infamous sweatshirt was in the truck. We're going to talk about the two sweatshirts too, because still that to me is weird. But where I believe that if the police, the FBI or somebody had Kylie's phone, I think just to stop some of the nonsense going on about the phone, I think they would have said something. Do you agree, Kaz? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, one would think they would try and stop this constant, oh, ridiculous assumptions that are got floating around the YouTube world, the conspiracy theories that are hitting the YouTube world at the moment is ludicrous. And you know how I feel about that poor little girl. I mean, just thinking about it gets me upset. Just let her rest in peace. You're not entitled to know everything. Um, we just have to wait until November to find out what, well, if we do ever find out. But do we want to know? Well, maybe, but putting out these ridiculous conspiracies.
But another thing, Kaz, that I speak about often, because we talk about this case a lot, even though it really upsets Kaz. But I also just believe with all of the, and then we're going to get into this article, but I believe that if it was a drowning and there was water in Kylie's lungs, why not come out and put that report out there that right now it looks like it could be drowning, there was water in her lungs, we're waiting for a toxicology.
Mm,
Just to kind of slow people down on the media for, it would put an end to that whole entire part of it.
yeah.
So why not if it's looking like an accident and there's rumors that the police are saying that are being spread all over social media, then why not put that out? You know what? There was water in her lungs. We're waiting for a toxicology, blah blah blah, but they won't even talk about that. And we
Yeah,
already know that they know if there was water in her lungs.
absolutely. They would have found that as soon as they did the autopsy.
Yes. And I'm almost convinced that she's already been laid to rest or whatever her mother did with the fact that maybe she was cremated. I don't know. But I'm convinced that Kylie has already been laid to rest.
Mm. Oh, I hope so. I really do. But if they had just come out quite easily and just said it was accidental drowning, all this ridiculous 12-hour, 8-hour, 5-hour lives that keep happening
But
wouldn't be going on.
they wouldn't even have to say it was an accidental drowning. They could say there's water in her lungs. It looked like she was alive when she went in, but now was she high on drugs? Did someone put her in the car and push her in, or all of that? There's still foul play involved to me. But my point is if there was water in her lungs and as much is going on in social media about the lungs and not the lungs of this, that could put a lot of stop to a lot of some of the nonsense.
Mm.
And then at that point, it could be an accident. She could have driven her car into the lake and got back into the hatchback. She is small. I know she's 5'7" and she weighs 110, I think they said. I'm 5'7" and weigh 125. And in that CRV that day, I know that I definitely could have gotten between those two CRV seats. The back is not that small. You could sit three Kylie sized kids with their back against the hatch and their legs up. I mean, their knees up. Of course you could,
Mm.
but I just don't feel that that's what happened. I feel that she was in the hatchback when she went into the water. Did somebody give her a fentanyl something or a pill and she overdosed, or was it something else? I don't know, but I do believe that there's definitely foul play involved.
Mm. Hey, also
Hey,
my
Patty in pink. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Her mom should be happy to see everyone that's still talking about it and cares and wants justice for the daughter. They just want justice if foul play was involved. Well, exactly. I mean, but there's ways of talking about it, and there's ways of going with what's new and what we have instead of dissecting like into the party. Because one of those pictures that was going around that was supposedly at the sanctuary of the girls in the car and the other cutout, that was not even from that party. And
mm,
then we're going to get into the Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 and tell you our thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts on them because I think those two are completely gaslighters.
yeah.
But we'll get into that. So the sweatshirts. Another thing that I find bizarre about the sweatshirts, and I'm not even sure about the tow truck driver and what that story is. You guys can tell me your thoughts, what you think about that. But I think the sweatshirts play a big role as far as the gray one with the writing and then the pink and white one. And I can't remember what sweatshirt odds, future odds, odd future.
Or something like that.
And I believe that if the tow truck driver did exist and this did happen, which an article we're going to get into says that there's no proof of it, but then you hear people saying that they called the police and there is proof of it. Maybe we need to call the police and get our own proof of it, but I don't want to dig that much more into Kylie's case. I want to let this little girl rest in peace, but I find it funny that I feel like there's so many people that are trying to. I still totally believe that Sammy is the one that is involved with this. And I don't believe it's 20 people, 5 people, 6. I'm going to put it to 2 people. Uh, I'm going to keep it at 2. I think it was Sammy and one of her little friends. And I think it might have been one of the boys from that TikTok video with the shaggy, light blondish brown hair. Hey, Jess. What are your thoughts on the tow truck driver, guys? Do you think he's real? Do you think he's full of shit?
Well, is his story, is he real? Yes. Is his story real? Well, that can be proven yay or nay by, he said categorically that he had cameras and audio at the front and back of his vehicle, the tow truck. Well, that would have been cited by, that was given to law enforcement. So that information can be disputed by, his story can be disputed by law enforcement whether what he saw was factual or not. So until they again come out with that information, we can speculate all we want whether or not what he said is truthful. I
I
mean,
agree.
do I think it was Kylie? No. Do I think he just in his mind saw the poster, saw a girl that looked similar to her, and his mind played tricks on him because of the amount of coverage that Kylie's disappearance was getting at the time. I mean, nobody can give 100% accurate description of a person's face when you're under distress.
And I agree what Leonard Love said. She can't rest in peace of foul play until the truth comes out. Oh, I totally agree. And I totally
Mm,
think there's foul play involved.
mm,
Absolutely. But you can't sit here every day and just dissecting over
mm,
things like we are going to honestly have to wait. until law enforcement comes out and gives any little bit of detail they can give. But then it's going to be up to her mother if that information and what information gets released. But we'll know if if there was foul play involved, or I'm sure we'll find out the
Yeah,
manner and the cause of death.
yeah. They
But the,
won't go into details, but
but the sweatshirts and the tow truck driver, I feel that I feel that did happen. And why I feel it happened is because I believe that Sammy and what's his name? That kid that we believe is the other one on the TikTok that day with the rock climbing, Miles
yeah,
and the other kid.
yeah. I can't think of his name at the
Quinn
moment. My brain's
Kai
not functioning.
Kai. Kai.
Kai.
Kai. So the sweatshirts. I believe the reason like, you got to think about the sweatshirts during what Sammy and all of it came out. First, they came out with the gray set sweatshirt and said this was believed what she was wearing, but nobody had footage of her at the party and none of that. No footage showed up. But then the footage of her wearing the Odds Future sweatshirt was the one that was definitely the one lent to her. We know that it was hers because there's multiple pictures of her at different times wearing this sweatshirt. But I think the gray one was put out there because that was going to be the sweatshirt, gray, of the tow truck driver. And I think that they did that whole entire thing probably the day after Kylie went missing. And I think still to this day that they put that car back into that lake after the police cleared Posner Lake and they had no idea that AWP was going to come out. And that's why that gray sweatshirt was brought into the mix on top of how do you latch your seatbelt through your belt loops? Like I mean, who I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Mm. What
And then
I
the whole seatbelt, Kaz, we did that test at my neighbor's house. Like,
yeah
yes, you could do that. You could pull it over there, but it just I believe that seatbelt was holding Kylie in so that she did not float up. Hello, my elderly cats. Hey, Jess. Yeah, I mean, definitely foul play.
mm,
I mean, if anyone ever wants to come on panel and chat, then more than welcomed. Welcome. So let's get into this article real fast. I actually listened to the glare earlier, and but I had to go to work. But Kaz ended up finding which article it was because she's such a smooth operator. I love her so much. No, my thoughts on Jagger. From the beginning, I told Kaz that they're broken up, and the rumor is because he moved away. I also feel you have to remember when Sammy said that Kylie and Jagger were not together because she wanted to be single and live the the wet life like me.
yeah
I mean, it's almost her words to a T. So now we have a new rumor that Jagger is sleeping. Can you explain? They
yeah
all know, I'm sure, but can you talk about what was said about that? And then I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this for sure. And then I want
yeah.
to tell you my thoughts. Hey,
Okay.
Jess. Did
Hey
wait?
Jess.
Did Jess ever answer you?
No, she's still not in Discord.
Should we
She got
time
it
her out?
downloaded onto her phone. Um,
Should I time her out?
no, she's busy packing to move.
I'm only kidding.
All right. There was
What?
this.
What? Patty and Pink. 1 second, Kaz, baby. What are you talking about? Truth be told, by MonkieMar, almost scary how she knows.
Who
I
knows when?
do. Jess, I do. I tell Kaz all the time. I went on I went on Prairie Dog's panel the other day and I told him that too. 2 days ago I
Mm,
jumped up there because I wanted don't even know them. Never spoke to voices behind the wall. Never spoke to him. Been in chat a few times, maybe in the bushes listening back in the summer days. And I jumped in there today because I'll tell you, not to get off course, but that dude that does that first interview with Sammy, that dream chaser guy, he is really, really strange.
Yeah.
But that's my own personal opinion. I mean, just something really off about him. Like a few
Mm.
fries short of Happy Meal, maybe in a very disturbed kind of way. But yes, I do, Jess. I do believe that Sammy had something for her. I believe that Sammy likes girls. I believe she's bi right now and she's going through the fact that something that I believe in a few years she might even be figuring it out that she's lesbian in jail. And I got nothing
Mm.
against lesbians. Shit, I tried to see if I was a lesbian at 19. Okay, maybe bisexual. And I was like, nope, this is definitely not for me. But hey, you got to try things in life, right?
Exactly.
You go out drinking, girl client asks you out, you do her hair. She's from Paris. She wants to take you out. You have a few drinks, she leans up on you to give you a little kiss. You like four Coronas in, and you're like, let me just see. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, I am definitely, but I don't care if you're bisexual, heterosexual, homosexual. I'll try anything once. I don't discriminate regarding anything or anyone.
Yeah, Keith, you are correct. Most girls do try at least once, I think, in their lifetime.
Yeah, I think probably the only ones that don't are the nuns.
Yeah.
So so real fast. I
Okay.
was 19. Real fast.
All right. Just before I
But
go there, just
wait, real
before.
fast. Real
All right.
fast. I want to bring up so I don't forget this because I didn't write it down.
Okay.
Um, I do want so I just mentioned Kate and Jag and that whole situation is what I said, right?
Mhm.
Okay, then yes, that's what I'm waiting for you to. Okay, yes, I'm listening.
All right.
Trisexual, right? Cat eyes. I was like 19. I mean, I grew. Okay, I was born in 1970. One eight, and I grew up back like I mean the 90s. It was just like I don't know. It was just I think people are just curious about their sexuality,
It's always been that way, no matter what year we're born in, and I was born a long time before that. All right,
right?
just
And
before.
it's just like you just try things.
Mm.
I mean, she tried to kiss me, and I thought, I think we were actually even at a gay bar down in Fort Lauderdale called the Copa. God, that place used to be God. We used to have so much fun at the Copa in Fort Lauderdale. All right,
All right,
hey
before
Karen.
I give this little rendition, I just want everybody to send out healing prayers to Patty and Pink. Patty's not been very well of late and she's still suffering. So if everybody could send out loving hearts and prayers to Patty and Pink, I greatly appreciate it. She's not been very well for the past 12 months. So,
Prayers, Patty. Yeah, give
mm,
Patty some prayers. Look at, I knew my elderly cats was a kinky baby. Look at that. I was born in
69.
'69. Have been with a few girls over my lifetime, right? It's not a
Yeah,
big deal. You're in
no,
college, you kiss a girl. I mean, who gives a shit?
yeah, cat's eyes. What about spin the bottle? Exactly. Who hasn't played that in their lifetime?
Okay, guys.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Now, there was this
We'll
guy
have to,
who.
guys. We'll have to get together, members and mods and stuff, and talk about this in Discord. Like, have those little fun conversations. Or maybe we can play spin the bottle with each other and see if we want to be trisexual, bisexual, or we're just gonna try it once.
I don't think so, Keith. I don't think you're the oldest one here. I think
Round two.
I'm up there. All right.
How old are you,
Yeah.
Keith?
All right. If you want to share your age, Keith, what year were you born? I'll divulge my. I'm not shy about telling my age.
I'm not embarrassed of my age. I'm going to be 51 years old on October 14th.
And I turned 65 in 4 months, 5 months, somewhere around there.
So Keith is yeah. So Keith
See,
is
I'm the
between
oldest.
us.
You're a
Yeah.
baby, Keith.
Fat ball, same age. Awesome. I am a little younger than me. 43. Mr. Bang's age. So you're 62. So what you got 11 years on me, and you got 3 under or 4 under Kaz.
Yeah,
We're all the same age in here.
yeah.
19. Yeah, look at that. Cool guys. All right, Kaz,
All
go
right.
ahead. I'm using a little girl's room. I'm gonna go duct tape my mouth. Nice,
Okay.
Juan. Look at that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a movie night and spin the bottles night with the mods and the members in Discord, and we're gonna set it up like tomorrow. We got to get the book
Woohoo.
club though, Kaz. I went and
Yeah.
got the days and time, and we're gonna put it out there and see how it works.
All right, sweetheart. Okay. So there was this gentleman. I'll call him a gentleman because it's how I was brought up. Um, was flirting with Kate of over Snapchat, and he was doing visual Snapchats as well as texting Snapchat with her, and they were getting along really well. And now this is all from his conversation, and he happened to Snapchat her one morning by video, and his account is uh, he Snapchatted her via video, and she answered, and she was sitting on the edge of the bed, just finished, must have just finished getting dressed, and this head pops up out of the bed, and it was Jagger. And he said, "Is that Jagger?" And she said, "Yes." And he says, "Oh, I didn't know you two were an item." And according to the account, um, she said, "No, we're not an item. We just hook up uh, when we feel like it." And Ma doesn't like this. She doesn't think Kate is the type of person that would do this. But
Well, I'll explain that. I didn't say that I think Kate's a virgin. I'm not saying that I don't think Kate and Jagger might have done this, but I'll explain about what is said. Do you want to pull up and read it from the one thing, Kaz?
what, this article?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh, we love you, Patty. I love everyone that comes in here. Kaz will tell you I used to joke around. I like 50 people and under in here because obviously I'm not on YouTube to make a to pay my bills. Nope,
What, you're not?
no. I do what I do because I love what I do. But I also work a full-time job, guys. I've been a barber cosmetologist for 32 years, and I work at a barn part-time with my girlfriend Jenna. And no, I haven't kissed Jenna. She's kind of cute though. Maybe I should give Jenna a kiss one day, smack her on her ass, and see what she thinks about it. Okay, did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. All right.
Cass, stop telling fibs.
Who, me? All right. So I'll just make. I'm going to.
No, 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 Cass, not that. The article
Oh,
about about them sleeping together that you had.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'll have to go and get that. You'll have to talk while I
PG
find
is
it. Hang on.
25 years old. Like this is like 1 year older than my youngest.
I wish you'd give me forewarning about this one. I've got to find it now.
I might have it right here.
Because I
It's in
didn't.
Discord, Kaz, and it's not that
Yes, I know it. Yeah, I know. I'm just scrolling, darling. Because I know it
far.
sent it
Come
to
out
her.
at night. Hey, awesome, I am. I could be your mom. My husband and I, ex-husband and I, divorced 10 years, but at this
Okay,
point, he's
I've
like,
got it.
I want to come back and I want to buy a house. And I'm like, what? After 10 years? Are you absolutely crazy? You can buy me a house, and no. But we were together for a long time. and then we got the little one, and then the boy who is about 26 in December, and then one who is in her early 30s, under 33.
Just share my screen.
Okay.
Wish forewarned then I could have had this up. You know I like to be organised. All right, this is what I was telling you about. So it says, it's okay. So basically, you have been talking to Kate on Snapchat shortly after Kylie went missing. I honestly didn't know her, just felt bad that she was getting heat since she seemed genuinely innocent. I won't lie, we both flirted with each other a little. Well, the day before Kylie's car was found by AWP, so that Saturday, I got that wrong. Kate snapped me early that morning. She was in bed and a snap of a guy getting dressed at the end of the bed. And it said, amazing night. Right away, I recognized the guy and it was clearly Jagger. So I straight up said, isn't that Jagger? And she said, yeah. I said, you slept with him? And she responds, yes, we have multiple times. I was like, WTF? He's acting like he loves Kylie and aren't you good friends? And she was like, we aren't a couple, we just screw around, basically. So that's what he posted. Yeah, so what do you think about that, guys? Agnes, it's all right, sweetheart. Yeah, well, it makes you wonder also, I am that the fact that Jagger was professing his love.
What I think is, and I'm not saying that Kate is an angel or she's not in a relationship or she hasn't slept with Jagger. No. What I don't believe is that a girl that's best friend is missing and probably dead under some type of water or somewhere is not going to pick up a phone and Snapchat or get on video or whatever it was and let that allow that person to see Jagger in the background. I truly believe that this letter came from either Jane Doe 1 or Jane Doe 2. It's a complete gaslight, and I think it is completely a bullshit. Hey, Mo. And I would like to see a blurred out screenshot or some proof because that is just complete BS. She
Mm.
even I mean, if it was like a month ago or before Kylie went missing and that was said, I might believe it. But you cannot possibly say that Kate, after being with her the day before she went missing in Reno with her, making cream brulee, that she's going to then go sleep with Jagger during everything going on and then turn on the FaceTime with someone to show it. It's just such bullshit, which is going to take us now to Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2. Oh,
Yeah, but
Chronicles by
yeah,
Olivia. Oh, no, no, the article first. I'm sorry, Kaz. Do you want to read the article?
the one that I put up a second ago that you said no, not that one.
Yeah, because I wanted them to see what you were reading. Like,
No,
I'm
that's
a
okay,
visual
sweetheart.
kind of person.
Yes, I know you are, darling.
I'm
Okay.
a visual kind of person.
So this article was actually put out by the Sun, and as we all know, the Sun normally is not a very reliable source.
Yeah,
However,
Heidi Plank.
sometimes, sometimes they actually do um, We actually do get some things right. I suppose, 1 out of 10's not bad. Let me just share this.
Yeah, guys, I do not believe that for 1 minute. There's no way, because if it was true, then the person could have. uh, Okay, well then show us the time of the call. We don't even have to see
Mm,
the video, but show us that you
mm,
and Kate were talking that day at that time.
yeah.
Ridiculous. If anyone
Um,
believes that, they have got to be out of their minds. Now, I'm not saying they're not sleeping together, but I don't think that they're going to be doing it at that time. Well, they could be, but I don't
mm.
think she's going to let someone know right now what's going on with Jagger, the supposed boyfriend in love with the girl who's missing at 16. It's so far fetched.
All right. So this came out on September 20th, and it was updated. It came out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it was updated an hour later. Okay. I'm innocent. Kiely Rodni's boyfriend has provided an alibi, we should say ex-boyfriend, to cops, but is still receiving death threats over unfounded murder theories. Kiely Rodni's on/off boyfriend has provided an alibi to cops, but is still receiving vicious death threats amid wild and unsubstantiated murder conspiracies online, the US Sun can exclusively reveal. The 16-year-old disappeared after an end-of-year school party in Truckee, California, and was found almost 2 weeks later in her submerged car in Prosser Reservoir. She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah, Cash,
Webs,
you can bypass all of the stuff that it's embedded in our brains and get to where
yeah,
they talk
yeah,
about,
I
yeah.
will, yeah. Web sleuths have been circulating rumours of foul play for weeks since her death and have been speculating her boyfriend slash on off Jagger Westfall could have been involved. Nevada County sheriffs told the U.S. Sun on Tuesday early in the investigation our detectives made contact with Jagger Westfall. After a detailed interview, he was ruled out as a person of interest. The accusations began after the volunteer dive group Adventures with Purpose, who found Carla's car using sonar technology, spoke to an unnamed witness. The man claimed in a YouTube video to have helped Kiely with her vehicle and described her being with the team who fitted Jagger's description after he appeared on the local news. He alleged he couldn't remember what day he helped that couple, but claimed it may have been the morning after she was last seen alive at the party near Truckee Family Campground. The witness did not disclose what company he provided roadside assistance for, and his claims have never been verified, with no CCTV or other witnesses coming forward. The Sun can now confirm Jagger, 18, has voluntarily spoken with law enforcement and provided proof of his movements during the time Kiely disappeared. A source exclusively said Jagger was in Napa Valley until 8 a.m. on the Saturday. He didn't get back to Truckee until noon and then joined the search for Kiely. He was misquoted in an article saying he was at the party with Kiely. He was never there. He now doesn't want to talk publicly. He has proof he has proof of him not being in the area and has spoken with police and the FBI and given them the information. Jagger has time and location stamps the night of the party and the next day. The police are not interested in him. He is not part of the investigation. The insider added that Jagger doesn't understand the hate and has to limit comments on social media as he continues to face unrelenting abuse from trolls linking him to Kylie's death. It's a lot for him to deal with as a young teen. Everyone close to him knows he wasn't involved, and he's trying to laugh it off, but it's tough, as he's also grieving, they said. He gets direct messages, comments, and tags, texts, and calls and emails all the time. Accusations, death threats, and people telling him to kill himself, which I think is absolutely atrocious. And I put that bit in.
Yeah.
Nobody, absolutely nobody should do that to anybody.
Now, people are saying about the sun. Kaz and I do not like the sun. Kaz and I
No,
don't like the sun because of the Heidi Plank situation with
yes,
that Mo and Boots article that went out, and it was just, I was like, you know what? Fuck you, son. That's basically how I felt. But
mm,
this is the only article, but there's a couple of things like Jagger, and if he's going through that and people telling him to kill himself, that's horrible. But now I am not saying that I don't think that Jagger might have known about it or knows like something is off about it. I'm not saying that. And he never showed emotion. He did that little sad cry. I think once did he give a little cry in a TikTok? Or was it no
yeah,
cry?
I don't know, I can't remember. But what's been said in the Sun has been confirmed by Nevada, and I've got a message screenshot from Nevada County Sheriff's Office that categorically states that
Yes.
Jagger is not a person of
And
interest and he has been cleared. And I will show it to you.
yeah, Kaz will show you guys that. So part of this has been proved, like she said, by Nevada County. But the important part about the rumors and stuff is what brings me back to if they wanted to stop this, they would I think they would have said that Kylie had water in her lungs, but that's why I truly believe Kylie did not have water in the lungs. And you have to remember also is they did that phone tower dump and they got the dump from the party that night off the towers and it takes I mean that's like a lot of work to get through call dumps from that night.
Hmm.
Very strange, but Kaz will show you where the Nevada counties say that he's
Yes.
cleared as far
I
as
just
not being there. But as is he cleared as maybe knowing? I don't know. But what does her mom say in that article, Kaz?
an article I just well
Yeah, at the bottom. Something about the mom
uh
where she comes off like I think Kylie's mom is just real metaphysical with the how she explains Kylie's life. I think it's actually really special the way she talks
hang on,
about
let me just
celebrating
find it.
her life.
Oh, about music and poetry and dance. Is
Yeah.
that the part that you're referring to? Okay, hang on. Let me just find it.
Yeah, Keith, she's a little different, but I wonder, I mean, maybe she's like a holistic healer and metaphysical and burned sage. Like she comes off to me like I told Kaz like a tree hugger.
Yeah, that's what she finds. She just sometimes doesn't choose, in my opinion. Here we go. I found it. I'll go straight to that particular one. So I'm right there. Come on, pop up. Am I up?
Yep.
Okay. It says here. Kylie's devastated family members released a statement shortly after her remains were identified and have never commented on the rumours Jagger was involved. While we accept this sadness cast under death's shadow, the rising sun shines lights upon us, reminding us not to mourn our loss, but to celebrate Kylie's spirit and the gift that we have all received in knowing her, wrote the family. Kylie will surely remain with us even though we will not get her back. There are certain occasions when words fail. Perhaps that is why our human nature has given us art, dance, and music, which are all often more effective ways to connect us to each other and our rawest emotions. Kindly excuse us as we retreat and dance privately to life's song while we celebrate our daughter's spirit and heal our souls. And I will show you now the confirmation by
See,
Nevada's.
I think that like I don't understand why her mom didn't think AWP, but I know that her father and her grandfather thanked them. I get it. I get it. But I also can't imagine losing a. I mean, would I think about thanking them? I know that grandpa and my ex husband did, and they've got to know that I'm thankful. I mean, and losing a child so close with trying to deal with that, like, I don't think that makes her a bad person. I mean, she just lost her only child.
Well, only daughter, not only child.
Well, only, I'm sorry, that's what I meant, only daughter. And I just feel, I mean, you can tell Kyle and her mom were close.
Mm.
And a lot of people are saying that they believe that Kylie was some crazy party girl. I don't think that because I don't believe she would have been doing everything she does involved in school and graduating high school a year early.
Mm. All right. I'll just, Mark, can you just take that pinned comment down for me, please? PG's comment. So on the screen, this came from Nevada County Sheriff's Office. And the question was, can you confirm that the statement in The Sun that Jagger Westfall was ruled out as a person of interest in the Kiely Rodni investigation did indeed come from you all? And of course, it comes back, thank you for your message, we'll respond as soon as we can, blah, blah, blah. And then they responded at 2:30 p.m., 3 p.m. Yes, that statement is factual. So, like I said, the Sun does sometimes get truth in their paper. Not a lot of the time, but they do some of the time. So, yeah. So I hope that they actually stop
Well,
with
stop with what?
all the, the conspiracy theories that are still being floated out there now.
Well, like I said, was Jag there? They're clearing Jag as far as not being at the party, but at the does he know? I mean, was he the one at the car with Sammy? I mean, that I don't know. If the tow truck driver is legit,
Well,
but
they've cleared him from.
the whole thing that that girl was wearing the gray sweatshirt, Kylie was wearing it earlier in the night, and then it was the pink and white one. I maybe they realized that it was down with her in the car, like they forgot that pink and white sweatshirt because thinking, I mean, there's just so much. But then it's funny that they say that the girl was wearing a gray sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So it's
But they
almost,
said light grey, not dark grey.
yeah. And I thought maybe he would have mentioned the words on it, but I just find that so ironic how those two sweatshirts were like, was that the sweatshirt Kylie was supposed to be wearing, or did she take it off and put her Odd Future sweatshirt on, and that was like shit, you know? Then they came out, oh, she had this one on.
Mm.
I mean, Sammy was running the teen meets. She could have honestly put anonymous messages from herself. Like, I think, and the one thing about that, we never read that and we never talked about that, and they've heard it, but maybe we should read that again about the girl that grew up with her. Do you remember that? I didn't save it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't?
Um, Let me check one folder. I might have it.
Okay. I
Uh,
think I'm pretty sure I popped it in Discord, to be honest, Mark, because I
Hang
think I
on one
sent it to
sec.
you.
And it was
It
a
just
message on. I
it
might
was
have it.
it was a
On
message on Facebook,
Facebook, anonymous.
and it was from a girl who grew up and with Sammy in her younger years, and apparently Sammy wasn't a very nice girl growing up, and she used to get into some pretty unkind things as a child. And this one girl got hurt by her, and this young girl needed
I
stitches.
can't find it.
Hang on, I'm just having a
But
look.
while you're looking for that, I do. I have found this that I found interesting right now that we were just talking about it. Let's read this again. This. I don't know the date. It's cut off, but today an autopsy was conducted on the deceased individual who was found in the Prosser Reservoir on Sunday, August 21st. The Nevada County Sheriff Coroner has identified 16-year-old Kiely Rodni of Truckee. The Placer County Sheriff's Office, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office are in communication with Kiely's family and offer our deepest condolences to them during this extremely difficult time. This is an ongoing investigation, and no other information will be available at this time. So, my question again is if it was water in her lungs, I truly believe there would have been a little more to that statement. It's just my opinion, but I do not believe there was water in her lungs. And that's why this is definitely foul play, in my opinion. And I think it's Sammy. And if there's another guy involved and it was Sammy at that tow truck driver car that day trying to set it up because she was going to end up driving herself into a lake with no seatbelt on or something, and that's probably why she was trying to ask about the seatbelt because she wasn't going to be in the seatbelt. She was going to be in the back. She was probably in the back of the car when the tow truck driver pulled up, if that was true, with that little screen slide pulled over to hide her.
Yeah, I found it. I've got it.
All right. I don't think it was an accident that her car ended up in the bottom of 14 feet of water in the reservoir. I feel that there was foul play involved somehow in the night, whether she overdosed or they were scared or just something happened. And there's some people involved. I think two. I think the girl and I think a guy. And I think it's Sammy. And I've thought this from day one.
I'll just remove the comment. All right. Now, she wanted to remain anonymous, as you can understand. I'll see if I can make it bigger. Can you see that, Mark?
Perfect.
Okay. It says, I grew up in Truckee and lived around 5 houses down from Sammy. We used to play and hang out. Keep in mind, this was when we were 5 to 10 years old, and my parents and I both remember her being a very strange kid and very pushy. This plays into how her character is now. I have so many memories of her doing such bizarre things. I'm not going to list them because they are very graphic and involve animals. I will, however, say that I had to get stitches because of her actions. But I just wanted to put it out there that something has always been off about her, and I truly believe that she had something to do with this case, based on my knowledge of her when we were younger. Now that says a lot to me. What do you guys think?
There has not been a lot of people coming forward and talking anything negative about Sammy. It's like, I don't know. It seems to me like Sammy might be like the little leader of the pack of girls and the people. And is that true? I don't know, but if this is the girl that said that and you're watching, my gosh, please email us.
Keith,
Why make that up? And we all know what it means when you do weird things to animals.
yeah, yeah. Sammy's mum is a lawyer, and she's a very well educated woman. Her father um, is not a lawyer. He was a PI. He had a decent job. Would you call them millionaires? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't call him a millionaire. I've seen his financials. Are they well to do? Yes. Millionaires? No. Yeah, but Sam's dad was also a PI at one stage until they closed down their PI business. But they weren't a PI as we know it. They were more as a corporate PI, where they would go in and investigate the corporate world.
All right, guys. Hey,
Oh yeah, there's
Chisme.
hey
Guys.
Chisney Bell.
So you have to think about, again, the control of the times. And the person that controlled the narrative on the times of the party the whole entire time was Sammy. But you have to think about everything that Sammy said in that first interview, and God, I know it by heart, I'm not going over it again, that she was with her all night. She saw her as soon as she got there. She asked for another ride home. Then she knew she was drunk and she was going to leave her and let her fend for herself. And then everybody comes forward and starts to basically say the same things. Jane Doe number 1 and 2, which we're going to listen to, and Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia. The link is in my description. And I think she is absolutely gorgeous. And I think her videos are amazing. Now, I may not be too no, no, we're not gonna say that. No, 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 no. But okay, so think about everything that Sammy said. Think about everything that Kate said, and remember, I mean Mags, and remember Mags and Kate grew up 3 houses apart and wear best friend matching necklaces. Okay, and how they came out with their stories. And now listen to the dialect on Jane Doe and Jane Doe number 1, 2, and see if you guys see what I see. Because I see that these two are gaslighters. Tell me if you can hear it, Kaz.
Sure.
I'm going to actually speed it up 125. And I need to use the little girl's room. All right, tell me if you can hear it.
And to honor that, I have blurred out her name. And for privacy reasons, her voice
Yeah. Oh good.
has been altered.
Yeah, of course. I don't mind at all. I'm at a golf tournament in Nevada right now, so it might be a little bit loud. I was at the party and it was my first one. I was only there from like 10:30 until 11 because my friend had a soccer tournament in the morning and we were only juniors at the time. So we technically, it was more like a senior party and we didn't have like that many senior friends. I do know Kylie. She went to Forest Charter with me, and she was amazing. You know, she definitely hung out with a lot of drunkies, I guess you could say. They were always stoned.
Oh, I'm going to
Don't know who she was
scream.
because I never
Oh,
really
I'm
talked to her.
grunting.
She loved music class. Um,
Okay, okay. Kaz, what is the population in Truckee?
I can give you the exact amount.
Okay.
Hang on.
So, did you hear? I mean, I was like, I mean, okay. Kylie hangs out with druggies. Well, we know that Kate is the one she hung out with. We know that um, Mags was supposedly the best friend, and Sammy was the one that said that. Oh, we got so close in the last month. I mean, last year we started hanging. We met last year, but we became really close in the last couple of months. Yeah, because
Mm.
you like her in a weird way, jealous of her, like her, I don't know, but my gosh, Sammy. So listen to what this girl just said. That
Uh,
Sammy says the first night, the first interview, that there was nobody strange at the party, no older men approached them, and it was just a normal party. Kylie's not a druggie, blah, blah, blah. She says, talks about what a good girl she is. She drinks, whatever. Listen to what this little gaslighter right here just throws out.
16,839.
Okay. So that's the population of Truckee.
Mhm.
And then this girl supposedly talking about they went to Forest together. Now, she went to Forest Charter, Kylie?
Yes.
And this one goes to Forest Charter, but the Jane Doe number two doesn't go to Forest Charter. But listen to the way they both talk and what they say. And I do not believe for one effing minute that Kylie was a druggie. She is 16-year-old, graduated high school, music, honor roll. Did she probably drink and want to have fun and with really nothing to do in that area? I mean, I was drinking wine coolers at 16, like, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a druggie.
Mm.
People that smoke pot at 16, I've had friends that grew up smoking the weed, and they really did. It just made them lazy, and they didn't want to do anything. If you're smoking weed every day and you're a druggie in high school, I'm not thinking you're going to achieve too much. To the fact that you're going to graduate at 16. Sammy met her the year before, so if it was so bad, she would have slipped coming through her last year of high school if she was turning into such a druggie. That is so bullshit.
Yeah.
Tell me if you want me to pause, but I really need to go to the little girl's room.
Okay.
Yes, Agnes agrees with that she was not a druggie. Absolutely not. I mean, shit, like I said, I tried shrooms in ninth grade. I mean, it was like the craziest night of my life. Like I said, we drove back from Palm Beach, Clematis Street to Coconut Grove, Miami, I think like 8 times. Not the drivers, they weren't on shrooms, and it was a great night, but have I done them again? No. Does that make me a druggie that summer because I did them? No.
PG, the only problem is that these days kids don't even know if they're taking a tablet that has fentanyl on them. And that's the scary part.
Yeah. See, when I was in my teens exploring and doing crazy shit, it was like shrooms, weed, marijuana. Sometimes you would see people doing a little cocaine in the bathrooms at the club, which I have too much energy. That was definitely not what I was going to be into. And then it was horrible, but that was like New Jack City area, man. I love I love Wesley Snipes crack, and that's when crack and all of that was coming out.
Mm.
I've never even seen what crack looks like.
The only
But
drug I've ever had is alcohol. Boring.
right, I've never seen fentanyl. Well, people do know about me that I lost my sister in June of 2020 to one of those fentanyl overdoses.
Mm.
But I've never done like the pain pills. I never understood the fentanyl. I do not understand the needles and stuff. Meth,
Mm.
like I just don't understand. But it is an epidemic. It's an addiction, and some people unfortunately suffer from it.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, they're people. I'm going to continue, but I've got a potty.
All right, go, go, go.
Love music class. Um, that's really all I know about her. I didn't hang out with her that much. I'd say there were like
It amuses
I
me when
can't.
she's.
I can't. Okay, so in the very beginning. Well, we got to kind of stop too because we need the commentary on her.
Yeah, I was going to talk over it because I was just going to say
Yeah,
she's giving this rendition of
but
Kylie, yet she's
but
saying she doesn't really know her.
well, exactly. In the very beginning, how much Kylie she loves her, but then you're gonna jump and talk. What the f?
Uh,
I mean, you guys, you really have to paint. I just read a Lisa Casada, and I don't even know why I said paint. Guys, I gotta stop smoking weed. I know it's legal in Maine and shit, but sometimes I just take like one little puff, and it's like, where am I? But do you see what just went on? The total
Yeah.
contradiction, and we're 1 minute and 34 seconds in. Ugh, let me go to the bathroom.
If I had to guess, like 200 people there, but I don't know because I left really early. And I was there and I did see Kylie right before I left. I was like walking towards the car and I was with my friends. Um, One of my senior friends who's a guy, like he was with me the whole time. I was basically just clinging on him because I was like scared to death.
See, when
Because it was
people
my first
say
party and there were like a lot of people
she's
that I
giving
didn't
too
know.
much
And then
information,
I was with one of my other junior friends
this
and we
tells
had
me she's
soccer
lying.
practice in the morning. And then one of my other senior friends, like the girl's older sister, and she drank a little bit. There was a lot of drinking there. I didn't drink anything because I am a Christian and I don't like drinking. I only drink in Spain.
I'm a Christian and I only drink in Spain. Now, that is a contradiction above a contradiction.
Okay.
I'm a Christian, but I only drink in Spain.
The most important part of you listening to, I mean, these two gaslighters right here, I mean, it's, you know, it could, anyways, you have to listen to the times because remember, there's what, 6 times involved in this case? It's 10, 10:30. What's the other time? 11:30 back to the car. She texts her mom at a wait, no, 11:15. She texts her mom, right?
Mm.
Sammy says about what time they went back to the car was 11:30 because well, her exact words were, well, we went back to her car to
Charge our phones.
well, and get the liquor, and I forget what we were talking about.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. Kylie texts her mom because that had to be in the narrative, the text. Then we're talking with a 12:30 time and a 12:36. Those are the only times. So listen to these little fuck. I bet you I would love to know who these Sammy clans right here are. These gaslighters. But
I've got to
listen.
get up and walk around, Ma.
All right, but listen to this.
Yeah, that's all the information I have because I wasn't really active at the party. I really sat by a tree with my friend who had soccer practice in the morning and we sat there like kind of judging people, I guess you could say, like people that we knew but they didn't know us because we'd like stop them on social media. We'd be like, oh my gosh, there's a sweet boy. Oh my gosh, weren't they dating? We did that kind of thing for like 20 minutes and we're like, okay, let's leave. And then we went home and watched Netflix. Yeah, I know this is kind of a long audio recording. I would prefer it if my identity were kept a secret, but thank you.
In this Snapchat message between her and I, she mentions that Kylie was most definitely intoxicated and offered her a drink multiple times. She also
So these messages were sent to Olivia, I think, in a complete recorded message, but I'm not understanding what this chat is. Is that an iPhone? I love Plunder. Is that an iPhone? Guys? I'm getting so old I have one of those flip phones. I'm only kidding. Look at Kaz in the chat. Does anyone know what this is? What, or is it like just maybe a recording advice or she's recording from her phone? Because this down here at the bottom looks like an iPhone. But it's like a little yellow head with two little eyes. Okay, let me stop.
also says that Kylie had smoked weed, so between the alcohol and the weed, Kylie was crossfaded. According to what she says, We now know that Kiely was for sure intoxicated before 11.
Yes, she was due home, I think, at 11:30. She texted her mom and said that could she stay a little later, and she was leaving in 45 minutes, which I still find that time to be very, very strange. And she was going to be leaving, like, I think it was what, midnight? Or did she text at 11:45 and it was 12:30? I would have to go back and check. I have that in a note card, but I'm not too sure. Hey, Grammy H. Yeah, voice recording messages. Yeah, it's either she had to be home at 11:30 and she texted her mom at 11:15, or she had to be home at 12 and she texted her mom at 11:30 and she was leaving at 12. It was something like that. Kaz, do you remember? It's something like that.
11 o'clock. She mentioned that she did not see Kiely hanging out with any boys, and that there was a group of teenagers who were trying to jumpstart their car on the side of the road. She also says she did not see Sammy because, quote, I just kind of sat there and everyone I talked to approached me. But yes, Sammy used to go to my youth group for a while, and we were never really friends, but we knew each other. She also says there was a fake fight, a playful fight, which corroborates what Sammy had said in her interview, where she talks about the playful fights. The teen noticed no strange guys, and Kiely was not hanging around any guys. But granted, this is all before 11 o'clock. Kiely sent a text message to her mother at 11:30. There is talk whether or not this text message was actually sent by Kiely.
Thank you, Olivia. Beautiful girl. 11:30. The message is sent. I think she said she was leaving in 45 minutes. She would be home by 12:30. It was about a half an hour ride. But do you hear her? Okay, so wow. So this was all before 11. Now you have to remember that Mags shows up. And what was the first thing? Let's disregard Sammy saying that there was no weird guys, there was no older guys, there was nobody that was following them, nobody that was bothering them. It was just a normal kind of party. Okay, that's how it went the first time. What did Mag say? She got out of the car, her and Kiely. She wasn't there for 5 minutes, and five guys tried to make her do bong hits. That right there is so full of shit, because now they're going to try to paint another picture. But Sammy, in the beginning, told us that there was nothing weird about the party, the people, and who were there. You all remember that, right? I don't have to find it. Her exact words. Oh, we'll get into the 12:36 call. You don't think that's weird?
Now that we know for sure she was definitely intoxicated, it is possible that someone else sent that text message. However, it is still possible to send a text message under the influence. Remember the one teenager who told her parents that
I said it from day two. Soon as I saw Sammy's face, I I got in Kaz's box, and I swear you, Kaz, thought I was nuts. I just said, telling you, I think that Sammy is got the hots for Kylie. And then Kylie's clothes, the green Dickies, and I don't know what kind of shoes she had on. Does anyone know what kind of shoes Kylie was wearing that night? And the tank top and the hair parted down the middle. I was sending Kaz clothes about bi females wearing their Dickie pants, and she was gonna kill me. Let me go past this part. I thought she was trying to transition Kylie into a weird. I don't know, but it's something weird there with Sammy.
couldn't walk
And if she was hurting animals, and that is true, she's yeah, there's something weird about her.
or speak. In a video with Adventures with Purpose, they interview a
You tell me. How sexy are those elbows?
Anybody got any paracetamol? Can't find any.
Ask Ross to bring you something home. I mean, so what do you think about those times? And now this girl is saying all of that happened by 11. Okay, well, Kylie and Mags got there at 10. So you're going to tell me within an hour that this child was completely stoned and drunk and stumbling and bullshit, because you're right. Somebody might have given her a little pretty fentanyl pill telling her that it's like a little baby trip. Oh, what's it going to be like? Oh, like they told me the first time I tried bladder acid. Oh, it's just going to be like smoking 6 joints. Yeah, 6 joints my ass. I was tripping. I mean, we were pulling toys out of my girlfriend's sister's kids' closet, sitting in little Fisher Price chairs for 12 hours. Bullshit. You know, so you don't know like what they said it was or if she did try one. But the times, and listen to how these two gaslighters are trying to confirm the time BS. But they're effing up because just especially this one, she really effed up at the end of the party.
To jumpstart a car that had lost battery near Boca Reservoir. As we know in this recording, the teen mentions a group of teenagers that had to jumpstart their car on the side of the road. Could this be the same car or individuals that the roadside assistance worker had to help?
When the tow truck driver was talking to the people, they described being broke down earlier or something to that effect. So to make that connection.
Little bit. As we know, Kylie was heavily intoxicated before 11 o'clock, when Jane Doe said she drank a little bit. As we know, Kylie was heavily intoxicated before 11 o'clock. If she could barely...
Stop lying. That's bullshit. We don't know. We don't know if she had one alcoholic beverage yet. We don't know if she got to the party and she was chilling. Remember, she didn't even want to go. She wasn't excited about going. She was talked into going to that damn party at the last minute. She had plans to go to the car show. This is a narrative that is spun out by 4 people that she was at this party at this time drunk. And it's Sammy's little clique. I'm so tired of people saying this. We're not going to know if she was drunk until we get a toxicology and if they even tell us. Do you know that she was drunk before 11, Kaz? You see video of her drunk?
Oscar's deciding. Ask Oscar.
Hey, baby boy. There's my little stinky butt.
You wanted a cuddle.
There's my little stinky butt.
He just woke up.
So she goes to the party, and now they're telling us that she was drunk at 11. And then days go by, and then Elsa comes out, and she saw her fall in a damn hole. And what time was that, Kaz? 1?
Yeah, around 1 o'clock, yeah.
Exactly. So what time does this person at this next video we're going to listen to after this one, that's going to tell you what time comes into play? We got the 10, we got the 10:30. Olivia said she texted at 11:30 the mom. That was the same time that they walked back to get a drink out of the car, and they were talking about something, but she forgot, and then, oh, that's right, she had to text her mom. And then 12:30 the party breaks up, but that mysterious 12:36 phone call, you had to give you that fake 6-minute flight to get out of the party like you were going home before she supposedly called you. No, she has Kylie's phone. If the police don't have it, Sammy's the one that was in control of that phone. You will never, I will never think different. But now, because of something that has happened that we don't know about, that maybe that's going to come into play, how many days later Elsa comes forward with the 1 o'clock in the morning, and now one of these Jane Does have this 1 o'clock in the morning time. The times are so effing specific that it's just bullshit.
Barely walk.
I'm fired up now about this because people just keep going on to the narrative like this was not a big people game. This was, you know what? At the end of the day, Sammy could have done this shit by herself.
and could not
But if the tow truck driver exists, she had a sidekick, and I believe it's that Quinn or Kai in her TikTok.
speak and had only drank a little bit. It's very likely that she took a stronger substance than just marijuana.
Jane Doe's account or recollection of what she saw and the timing that she saw did concern me. It concerned me quite a bit because we were looking at the timeline, and she was heavily intoxicated early on. And the reason why that's concerning is because when we look at, say like alcohol intake and things of that nature, it just doesn't seem like she would have had ample time to consume enough alcohol to get in the state that she was at the time Jane Doe witnessed her. It was almost as if she was on, or described that she was on something else, maybe an enhancement of, another substance of sorts, something that appeared to be moving or,
actually come forward and spoken. I thanked her for taking the time out of her day to answer a few questions. This teen's observations helps us paint a better picture of the time.
All right, one more. And then we
I
have.
just,
Go ahead.
it was definitely not a cat. Oscar is a French bulldog. I don't know how you got a cat from that. Oh my gosh, he's going to have a complex now.
Yeah, he's a little Frenchy. Now, this one. So now we have to remember Elsa came forward days later, and why she just didn't say that the first night because it's not true. That's why she didn't come out and tell the police something so simple as she saw her at 1 o'clock in the morning and she fell in a hole. This has to fit the narrative. And now this little gaslighter we're going to listen to now, when you see what I'm saying and you listen to this gaslighter, this is probably Elsa. This one is going to confirm this 1 o'clock BS. Yeah, I'm fired up on this. People, let this girl rest in peace at least until we get
The second partygoer,
the autopsy and see what they say to us. Foul play for sure, but this is not something that a lot of people saw. This was something that one or two or somebody would have broke by now.
their side of the story. Let's name the second partygoer Jane Doe number 2. My deepest condolences to Kiely's family and friends. Due to privacy reasons, their voice has been altered, and their name will remain anonymous.
There were around 200 people. It's not very usual to see this at a party, especially at Sanctuary, because the road is so rough. People hate partying out there. I never saw anyone sketchy show up. I never noticed anyone sketchy while I was there. I definitely never saw Jagger there. I don't think he was there at all. When I spoke to Kiely, she was intoxicated, but she seemed happy. There was nobody there in wet clothes. They would have frozen so badly. It was raining all day that day. It was cold out. I don't know about the shrooms. I don't smoke or trip on substances, so I don't really look for them. I do believe she was intoxicated before 11. The girls in the black and white photo were in Reno, not Prosser, and I know this for sure because I'm friends with the one that took the photo. I don't know about Sammy and Kiely's relationship. I never saw Kiely fight anyone, but the fight that was on video was a playful fight.
You can't make this up. Did you hear what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got to make sure, guys. Hey, Toy Airy, we've got to make sure now that we have to completely confirm that she was messed up between 10 and 11.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you see this, Tom? Apparently, number Jane Doe 2 is Elsa.
Oh, I just said that. I honestly just said that. You got to go back. I'm saying that these two are gaslighters. These two are most definitely, because at the times it's almost like it's like there was like Sammy gave a team meeting pamphlet out that said these are the times that you have to stick to. You can't break these times because it's so crazy. It's everyone that just has these same exact freaking times.
Take some painkiller, Patty, and get some sleep, darling.
You need to take a pain pill.
I haven't got any.
Well, ask Ross to bring you some. Okay, let's listen to this.
Fight. I know those boys. I didn't see Kiely drink or smoke, but she did smell strongly of alcohol and was having a hard time walking straight, and her speaking was slow. I don't believe that this could have been a drunk accident, honestly. Sanctuary Road can be impossible to drive on, especially with how intoxicated she seemed when I talked to her. Just a week before, a kid had hide-centered his truck on the road, so it's not an easy one to navigate, like even sober. And I don't know anything.
Exactly. That is why Kylie would have never have made it down that path. She probably would have hit a tree before she got to the end of the water.
Unfortunately, my elderly cat said it's illegal where I live to smoke weed.
Going on between Kate and Jagger. I tend to stay out of people's personal relationships just because it isn't my business. I had personally seen Kiely around that night, but I also didn't ever see her with Sammy. And Sammy didn't even actually host the party. It was 3 boys from the area, one from Incline, one North Tahoe, and one Truckee. And the Truckee boy actually had work that night, so I don't think he was there. I never ended up seeing him. I'm from Truckee and I know this boy well, but I don't remember seeing him. When I spoke to Kiely that night, she was severely intoxicated. Like, she had been stumbling, her speech was slurring, but I also don't know her well, so I don't know her normal behavior. I'd only seen her around and maybe spoken to her once or twice at things like parties. Other than that, I never really saw her. She did go to a different school than me. She did mention having a ride, but she was alone and it was dark when I talked to her. People have also commented about kids not seeing things, and the moon was bright that night, but Sanctuary is under trees, and I had a hard time seeing because the generator that was running the lights had turned off or gone home earlier, so I personally couldn't see very much. That night, people began to show up around 9. It was a small group of people that I knew. I wasn't close with any of them, but I knew them, so I was happy they came, and I felt comfortable around them. Around 10, a huge group of people showed up. A friend of mine was leading them. She said, I don't know any of these kids, but they were all down on the road by the intersection because they had no clue where to go. So I led them to the right place. My guess is that these kids must have not been from Truckee, and they were from the Tahoe region, around Incline mostly, and maybe some North Tahoe kids, because most Truckee and a lot of North Tahoe kids know where Sanctuary is because it is a popular spot for us. I noticed that a lot of people have commented that there aren't many photos and videos from that night, and it's true. A lot of kids up here don't spend their time on their phones at parties. I personally never noticed a whole lot of kids on their phones other than when people were like taking B-reels or just taking random pictures. But most of the time it's like 0.5s of their friends' faces, like funny stuff like that. Not anything like crazy that actually shows the party. Like, I know I personally don't take pictures of parties in general.
I call bullshit on that. 100% bullshit. I mean, they might not be taking pictures all the time, but the be real, like, why can't we see Sammy's be real? Why can't we see Mag's be real? Why can't we see a real be real from Sanctuary? Because the be real picture of the girl's photoshopped and everyone thinking the girl is dead in the back seat with her hair through the window and all that, trying to maybe make it look like Kylie. That wasn't even from this party. This person's going to say it right here. What do you think of that? That was from a party down the road. Oh, this is, and listen, wait, the times are great. The times are great.
Around 10:30, there were glow sticks all over the ground. That was one thing that I noticed because
Everpure hair care, free of sulfates and harsh salts. Gentle.
about them earlier in the night, and people were like putting them on, all this stuff, but they had started to fall off people. The glow sticks I had fell off. So I was putting them in bottles and like setting the bottles places. A lot of kids also started to pick up the glow sticks and throw them at each other, which was making some people really mad. There's also been a lot of talk about the fight that was shown on the news from
Hi,
that night.
Jeannie.
You can see in the picture I'm going to send you of the invitation that was sent out that night, the background of it is a picture of a fight from earlier this year at a party, because they're very common up here. People always bring boxing gloves to parties, and friends box each other for fun, but it's always friends. Like, there's never any ill intention in these matches. There are always kids mediating these box fights and are there to break them up if they need to. And there's always the biggest rule during these is you're not allowed to hit the other person in the head or the face, just because we don't actually want anyone getting injured. Like, I've personally been in a boxing match with a friend just for fun, and I didn't want to hurt her. It was just for fun. At 12:30, the crowd had shrunk a lot. I didn't know almost anyone there other than like a couple friends in my ride home, and a boy had pulled his car onto the dirt road, like the main road to get in and out of Sanctuary, and there were boys yelling and screaming at each other like in an aggressive way, not like a fun way, next to the car. So pretty much anyone that was there anymore had crowded around that car because they were trying to see if they were going to fight, if they needed to break something up. But one ended up climbing on top of the car and standing on top of it while the other one got in and started playing music from it. There was a subwoofer in the back of the car, and all
These details are so perfect. But so here we've got a fight almost getting ready to start. You've got all these kids around, someone standing on the roof of the car. Why can't I see a picture of that? Why can't I see a picture? Why are they not? Why has the LE or the FBI, whoever has it, they both probably have it. Why can't we see the video of Kiely at the party earlier that day? I mean, they still don't even want to show that. Like, did they think it was her? Was somebody wearing her Odd Future sweatshirt to try to come off to play these two sweatshirts into the game? But nobody got one picture of the kid standing on top of the car at the party. No pictures. Kiely didn't take one picture. And then Sammy's telling the whole world that she was with her all night, sharing the same drink just to try to prove to everyone that whatever Kiely's going to end up being found with, Sammy didn't have any of it because they were sharing drinks all night, remember? But this girl's like, no, I didn't see Sammy and Kiely at all together that night.
All the doors were open so you could hear it because there wasn't any music playing at that point. People were angry because there wasn't any music. Because that road was blocked by the car, no one could have driven in the direction of the Y intersection unless they had parked down there, which personally I didn't see anyone leaving at that point. And because I didn't really know anyone there anymore, I had asked my ride to take me home because I just felt kind of uneasy being there without people I knew. So I left. My ride had parked their car all the way back on the paved road, so we had to walk all the way down the dirt road to get back. While we were walking, there was a group of boys walking in the same direction as us, and my ride knew them. I can't remember why he knew them, but maybe school or something, because my ride went to a different school than me. And at the Y intersection, my ride and I went left of the car, and the boys went right because they had parked that way.
I will say this, whoever this person is talking, disguise the voice, if anyone's on an interview and does a lot of that sniffing, she's a sniffer. You can hear her. I don't think it's Sammy. Because I think this person right here is almost saying completely different things besides how messed up they were between 10 and 11. But then how she doesn't put Sammy and Kiely together, I find very strange. But she does go, yeah, she a sniffer. But here goes the time.
Okay. So a lot of kids had parked over by the water over there, and I'm guessing they were part of the big group of kids who showed up earlier in the night that didn't know where they were going. So they parked down there and walked up when my friend walked up when she showed them how. But most of the cars at the actual sanctuary. So yeah, a lot of cars were actually parked up at sanctuary because it's really common for kids to camp out at these parties, especially if they don't have DDs and they don't want to drive home intoxicated. They'll camp there instead and drive home in the morning when they're sober. So that's where a lot of the cars were. I reached my ride's car around 1 in the morning back on the pavement, and I was never passed by a car on the dirt road or saw a car on my walk to my ride.
What time did she get to her car on the pavement?
1 a.m. she said.
Ah, and what time did Elsa say she saw Kiely fall in a hole?
Around that time.
Okay, but now she just said that there's nobody left at the party. Everyone.
No, she didn't say that. She said when she left the party, nobody came down the road.
But
drove.
it can't be. Everybody supposedly hauled ass out of there at 12:33. So she comes walking back to the paved road at what time? The same time that Elsa says. I don't think this is Elsa. I think
No.
Elsa is one of Sammy's little sidekicks because of the fact that Elsa didn't come out for how long did it take her to come out just to say that she saw Kiely at 1 a.m. and she was drunk and fell in a hole?
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah, too long. Hey Junie. Hey Sunset. I think because at 1 o'clock now the party's supposed to be done. They left at 12:30. The other camp going people that were not part of the party said at 12:30 everyone seemed to have left. Now we got the car blocking the way, so now no way Kiely can go that way. But now it's 1 o'clock in the morning again. So what else does she say?
No headlights, nothing.
This is where Kiely's car was parked. According to Jane Doe number 2, she says that no cars had left between 12:30 and 1 a.m.
And I was never passed by a car on the dirt road or saw.
Okay. You know what? I didn't even catch this the last time, but I caught it right now. Okay. So she is saying right now, am I in full screen? Yeah. She is saying right now that Kiely's car was parked in the sanctuary. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kiely ended up on, this is the road right here that she came and made that hard left turn and drove straight into the reservoir. Are you kidding me? She would have had a better chance of driving down this road and making it into the reservoir over here. She could not be that drunk to get from this area all the way around to this area and then drive there. Why wouldn't she just come straight down through? You know what? No. Sammy is definitely she's so involved in this. I think she's got other people to try to back her up and say, like Elsa. I don't think for 1 minute Elsa saw Kiely at 1 a.m. at that party. That was to fit a narrative.
This is where Kiely's car was parked. According to Jane Doe number 2, she says that no cars had left between 12:30 and 1 a.m.
And I was never passed
No,
by a car on the dirt road or saw a car on my walk to my ride. No headlights, nothing.
According to Jane Doe number 2, there was a blockage at the Y intersection, which would have prevented Kiely from exiting the party. Remember at 12:36 when Sammy said Kiely had...
Okay. So not only was Kiely's car parked far away, and even if it was parked on the path, let me go back. So, and then we're going to play one more video and we're going to wrap it up, Kaz. Okay. So if Kiely's car is parked over here, that one guy is standing in the middle of this intersection with the subwoofers going because she knows he's got subwoofers in the back because of the bass probably or whatever. He's standing on the roof of the car and something's going on here at that time. How she's definitely not going this way at this time. That because why? Because her car was not put in to this water at this time. Her car was probably gone as soon as that message was sent. And like I've said before, her car did not have to be at the party. Sammy could have pulled that back off the road close enough to hit that tower because they said her phone pinged. It could be on land or it could be in water. Well, I'll tell you this, we can take in the water off the table, because I truly believe if the cell phone was found, we would know already. Sammy's the one.
Which would have prevented Kiely from exiting the party. Remember at 12:36 when Sammy said Kiely had called her?
She was meant to be my ride home, but I knew she was too intoxicated to get me home. So I said, hey, I found another ride home. Like, I hope you stay safe. Like,
Sammy had already left. In the background of her phone call with Kiely, she said she heard voices from...
No. On American Chaser, Sammy did not say that. Sammy said that she went to the car with Kiely. She realized how drunk, whatever. Then she walked around. She found a new ride back, and she came and told Kiely that she found a ride home. And then Kiely still calls her at 12:36 just to ask again if you had a ride home. But she was so effed up and intoxicated, but she could pull that off too. Sammy is caught in so many freaking... Sammy is so full of shit.
The party, suggesting that Kiely was not in a car yet, but still at the parking lot. All of this suggests that perhaps Kiely was alive at 1 a.m.
This interview told us a few things that we didn't know. One, it told us that...
No, I'm not listening to any more. That's all I wanted you guys to hear. No, Kiely was not alive or there at 1 a.m. That did not prove it, because some girl with a voice changer confirming a 1 o'clock fact is walking back to her car on the paved road, and the road being blocked and she doesn't see any lights, is going to say that Kiely Rodni was alive at 1 a.m. Do you agree, Kaz?
Yeah, I don't think she was alive then.
I'm not saying that if you think so or not, but because of the fact that this girl did not see any headlights and the car was blocking the intersection, that Kiely had to have been alive at 1. What is that? I mean, I can't even make sense of that. Okay. So those are my thoughts on Kiely. And until I hear what's really going on, you guys now know what I think. But I think people need to honestly, dig into the facts and dig into things that we can figure out what happened. But the conspiracy theories and the constant digging, guys, it's like, I think some people need to probably get themselves a little therapy. All right. We are going to end this on Allahnia Lenoir, the girl that went into the apartment complex in Atlanta, and she never came out. We've got one that's on the run still, one that's in jail. And that's actually not... it's kind of what I expected, but I've got actually 2 videos. Yeah, Seashells sent me these videos. I had looked at them, but then I saw that she had sent them to me too, and I'm like, oh, let me grab these links before the live.
Breaking at 6, Atlanta police needing your help getting justice for Allahnia Lenoir. She's been missing since the end of July, and now police say they believe she was murdered.
The Atlanta police just holding a press conference less than 2 hours ago, and they tell 11 Alive one of the suspects, Deontay Reynolds, is in the Fulton County Jail tonight, but they're now asking for the public's help in capturing 29-year-old Stephen Abate, and they do believe he's still in the metro Atlanta area and believe the 2 suspects knew Lenoir. And the 24-year-old woman was last seen at a Midtown apartment complex, and police believe that she was killed there and her body taken to another location.
But Atlanta police say they haven't yet found her body.
Our ultimate goal is to locate the body of Alani and be able to provide closure for this grieving family. Anytime we advertise an individual's face and let them know that they are wanted, we know that it increases the likelihood of that person trying to flee. But we also know that we are stronger when we work together with the community, and we are confident that tips will come in that will lead us to the apprehension of this individual.
In the last 10 minutes, we just received this statement from Alania's family saying in part, we knew that this was going to be a race against time, but until her body is recovered, we remain hopeful, and we know that the tips from the public and all of the media attention has helped us get us this far in finding my daughter. And we want to give you one more look, one close look at Stephen Abate. If you have any information about his whereabouts, you are urged to call the Atlanta Police Department Coming up on 11 Live News at 11 o'clock.
Wow. Oh, have a good night, Keith.
Thanks for coming in.
Jinx. He is, yeah, he looks like he's a scary man. Oh. You know, he's on the run. I don't know. He has like real estate business and.
No, that's not what
Yeah,
Stephen
it was
has.
Stephen. Oh boy, Deontay doesn't have anything. It was Stephen. I thought you said that had the
Hang
kids.
on, I'm just pulling it up now.
And I've got one more video on her that I want to share. I hope they find this guy soon. Anyone in the Atlanta area, guys? Oh shit! Need to get this guy's picture out there, because I don't even want to know how he took her out of the. Oh god, I can't. Last one, Kazaboo.
We are following some breaking news right now on 11 Alive Plus, where Atlanta police about to give an update in the case of Allahnia Lenoir.
The 24-year-old woman was last seen July 30th at an apartment complex on Peachtree Street. So let's get you now right to Atlanta police with that update.
Everybody rolling?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Major Peter Malecki with the Atlanta Police Department. To my left here is Lieutenant Jermaine Dearlove. He is our homicide commander. And to my right is Investigator Scott DeMeester. He ended up being the lead detective on this case, and he serves as a member of our complex case investigation. So we're here today to provide a little update on what started out as a missing person case from August 1st for 24-year-old Allahnia Lenoir. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the case. On August 1st, we received a 911 call reporting 24-year-old Allahnia Lenoir missing. As with all missing persons investigations, that case was immediately assigned to our missing persons unit, where they began to follow up on that case. Thanks to the media, we did push out Ebola for that missing person, and we began to receive numerous tips and information that gave us a starting point to work in this investigation. Within the first 24 hours of this case, our missing persons unit was able to utilize.
Well, Mo, I don't think that's how it went down. I think that the girl that dropped her off, the so-called family shitty friend, forget what her name was, Tyra. Tori. I think she dropped her off. Supposedly she said that it made it seem like Lenora was honestly having a little bit of a threesome with these guys, is what she came off as. And it wasn't like the first time, but remember, Fruity also has a boyfriend, so I don't even know if I believe that. She ended up leaving her there because she wanted to stay, and she was going to get an Uber home like she usually did. But the fact that she was supposed to be home to take care of her little brother King, and she didn't with no contact, I found that kind of weird. I don't know if I trust Tori. But no, they guys had an apartment in the Midtown, and a week after she went missing, Mo, they moved everything out, and then they arrested Dimitri on some other charge, and at that point, the second man fled. And I believe that Alania probably was, I hate to say it, but no longer with us. But he's going to tell us why right now.
Technology and video information to discover the last known location for Alania. The initial investigation showed us that Alania was last seen during the early morning hours of July 31st at 1660 Peachtree Street, which is the Peachtree Midtown Apartments. By this point in the investigation, we also determined 2 male individuals that were at that apartment with Alania at the time of her disappearance. Those 2 males were identified as Deontay Reynolds and 29-year-old Stephen Abate. At that point in the case, we quickly began to realize that there may be some foul play involved in the disappearance of Alani. At that point in the case, we turned the investigation over to our complex case investigators, where Detective DeMeester took point on this case. So we were able to determine through technology and search warrants that were obtained in this investigation approximate locations where we believed Alani may be located. We did know that she did not at any point leave 1660 Peachtree Street on her own accord. We do believe that she had died inside the apartment and that it was potentially relocated to an undetermined location. We conducted numerous manual searches at areas where technological evidence suggested that Alani may be located without success. We utilized the assistance of cadaver dogs, homicide detectives, and entire police recruit classes. At this point, we have developed enough evidence to suggest that Alania was murdered and that her body was disposed of. We have secured Fulton County arrest warrants for 2 individuals. One of those individuals is currently in custody at the Fulton County Jail, 29-year-old Deontay Reynolds. The second subject we are going to ask for the help of the media and the general public to locate. He is 29-year-old Stephen Abate. We do believe that Stephen is located somewhere in the metro Atlanta area. And so we would again ask that if anybody has information on his whereabouts or any.
So I am convinced that they found that they tried to clean the apartment after they left a week later, and they found evidence inside that apartment. And I don't even want to imagine, or maybe they see like them leaving with a suitcase. I'm so over suitcases galore. Maybe they put her in a suitcase or something. Like, look at him. He looks, yeah, they both look scary. I mean, Deontay's not scary looking, but this guy's eyes on the left, like everyone was saying in chat, I totally agree. He looks like he is completely disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Any information regarding this investigation, that they would please contact the Atlanta Police Department or Crime Stoppers and provide us with that information. So keeping in mind that this still is a very open, active investigation, our ultimate goal is to locate the body of Alani and be able to provide closure for this grieving family.
Good question, Mo.
But we will take some questions that we are able to answer at this point.
Were there any leads or tips that led you to that? I know you said it was technology, but were there any leads or tips that led you to that location as far as where you believe she was killed?
So that's the great job that our missing persons unit did right off the bat. And again, every missing persons case that we get, we investigate aggressively. We take each one of these cases seriously, and we're able to utilize anything at all at our disposal to locate this individual. So in this case, it was an exigent request for a phone company to get a last known location. And that's what led us initially to that apartment complex.
Did Allahnia know the 2 gentlemen prior to that night?
So we do believe that they did have a brief acquaintanceship or relationship. They were not complete strangers at the point of that night inside of the apartment.
Did Reynolds turn himself in, or was that
He was apprehended in Conyers, Georgia, and then transported to the Fulton County Jail.
Are there going to be any charges potentially for the third person who was there with him that night? The woman.
Oh, there better be charges on her. But did you hear what he said? Like that she knew them.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had something to do, because we do know that she was an exotic dancer. If maybe they, I don't know. Do you think maybe they could have been her, like not pimp, but you know?
He was with a friend.
So no, at this point, we are still exploring everything. The evidence we have at this point does not suggest that that individual was culpable in the disappearance or death of Alani.
Do you believe that Avante is still in the metro Atlanta area, or maybe left the area?
So, that's where we're really reaching out and asking for help from the public. At this point, we do believe he may still be in the metro area. And certainly anytime we advertise an individual's face and let them know that they are wanted, we know that it increases the likelihood of that person trying to flee. But we also know that we are stronger when we work together with the community. And we are confident that tips will come in that will lead us to the apprehension of this individual.
And what charges is Reynolds facing?
So both those individuals are facing felony murder and concealing the death of another.
Did Reynolds, or do y'all have any indication about how she might have been killed?
So that's something that obviously still being an open and active investigation, we're not quite ready to push out just yet, as we still have to prepare this case for litigation.
The family thought that this might have been a case of sex trafficking. Do you know if what the motive might have been for the murder?
Pimping?
So no, obviously we investigate every single aspect of every case that may lead us to justice for a family, but no, that is completely irrelevant to our investigation. And as I said, we are still trying to determine motives, and we are hoping that when we make this second apprehension, we're able to interview this individual in hopes that he will be cooperative to provide some of these answers and some of this closure to this family.
I might think that these guys had something to do with her dancing. I mean, who said that she was a dancer? Her family?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
that Tory girl?
Oh, well, Tori said it. It was also on the Facebook page that she was an exotic dancer.
Now, one of those Facebook pages that you said that wasn't she like the mother hen to the girls?
Yeah,
That was actually running one of the Facebook groups?
yeah.
Well, that's a little creepy.
One more question. Is the first suspect, has he said anything? Is he cooperating with you all of this time?
So at this point, no, they have not been cooperative. They have requested counsel and have not cooperated further in this investigation. We do believe that they know the whereabouts of Alani. And so that is one of our hopes that during this.
Sorry, man, not Tori, isn't. The mother of the exotic dancers of the club that she worked for is running the Facebook club, Facebook group. Click that button, woman.
I mean, I don't know, Kaz. Like I thought he was like this fancy realtor. I mean, he looks like he is just completely stoned out of his brains. The one on the run.
Well, he has two companies that he formed back in 2021 that were automatically deregistered for non-compliance. So he had great grandeur ideas, Stephen, but he never followed through with them, unfortunately. He classed himself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, exactly. An entrepreneur of woman. And let's not forget the Motel 6 that's right across the street where Deontay or one of these guys were seen bringing clothes because that's probably where they had the girls that they were, putting on the back page of those. I saw that once at a hotel in Gainesville, Florida. It does exist. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Second apprehension that we will get that information and be
And
able to
yes,
bring her
I
home to her
called the
family.
police.
I'm going to ask investigative police to hold those photos specifically of Alante. You can cover that one up.
It's the one subject.
We need to get that picture all over Twitter, Facebook, guys.
Did everyone get Stephen Alante?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second is Deontay. Put it in front like you had before.
And again, Deontay is in custody at the Fulton County Jail.
Major, can you say and spell your first and last name?
Sure, it's Peter Malecki.
Yes, Grammy.
Malecki.
And we'll also email the photos as well, so you'll have it for free from.
Can we have spellings for those names as well?
Yeah, sure, we can email that out to you guys, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, once again, we have been following this
11 Alive.
I'm gonna grab. We're ending right now. I'm gonna grab that picture, guys, and I'm gonna put it on the community post. We got to get that guy's face out so that we can find out where he's hiding. Probably down in the south. Guys, everyone, that's my thoughts. So now we're waiting for more facts on the Kiely case, but that's where I come from on that. And I think just too much gaslighting and bullshit. I think Sammy and one other person, no. Whether they gave her something she OD'd, whether it was on purpose, it was not on purpose, I don't know, but Sammy knows. Anyways, guys, thank you all for coming in. Mods, thank you. Members, love you. I love everyone. I love you, Kaz.
I love you too, sweetheart, even though I didn't
Yes.
like it.
What? I know, you're in pain. You can go, Kaz. Chisme, yes, I'm streaming Chisme. She's going on a search for, I think it's a lady. I don't remember her name. But I will be streaming it. When I find out the time and everything, I'll put it out on the community post. Everyone, guys, stay safe. Keep your babies safe. And For God's sake, stay vigilant.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you, Kaz.
Thank you, darling. Bye.
Bye.